Hello, hi, good evening. This is Krishnaveni, and I have been teaching biology on the eCareer Point English Medium app, right? So today I'm here on a very winter evening, or a very warm, cozy evening. I'm here to talk to you about the beauty of microbes. So have you ever even wondered, does microbes have beauty? So all that you know about microbes is that it comes in biological classification, and they are hell of trouble because you have to remember them, right? Not only in biological classification, we also have a chapter about microbes in human welfare, right? So all you know about microbes is only one side of the coin. That is, you have to remember the examples. So today I'm here to take you into a tour where I'm going to talk to you about the beauty of microbes. It's amazingly surprising how these minute creatures can be so beautiful amidst all that we are facing right now. I understand we are in a situation of your pandemic where your COVID-19 infection is shaking the rock behind us, right? But it's still fine. Here we are cursing microorganisms, cursing viruses because we are still awaiting the vaccine. But still, microorganisms have other face. That is the most beautiful face ever, and that is the beauty behind it. So here, it's a short dinner time video, and you don't have to take any notes, nothing. So just play this video. The entire family can watch. So instead of watching your series, instead of watching a movie, instead of watching a news channel, so on a dinner time, so weekly twice, you can watch my video, and it is completely about science and basically biology. So here, I always take you into a tour of the story of life on Earth, and that's biology. So on that basis, here today, I take you on a wonderful tour, and definitely I tell you, your dinner time will be the most beautiful time of the day when you listen to these kind of things, and how amazing we are blessed to be in such a life which is full of life. All right? Yes. So here we go. So are you ready to admire the beauty of microbes with me? I hope yes. So here we go forward. So before we go to admire the beauty of microbes, so how do you define beauty? So what is beauty according to you? A beautiful girl? A beautiful baby? What else is beautiful according to you? So how do you define beauty? So how can you define a girl beautiful? How can you say the baby is beautiful? How can you call a puppy beautiful? We say the puppy is cute, but what is beauty? So here is the definition of beauty. So it's a combination of qualities such as shape, color, form that pleases the aesthetic senses, especially the sight. And hence we call beauty. And here we are to admire the beauty of microorganisms. And definitely all these combinations of microorganisms makes them the most spectacular living organisms ever. And this is the most important quote. So beauty is in the eye of your beholder. So it is in your eyes, in my eyes, to admire the beauty of microorganisms. No microorganism ever came in your dream or in my dream or even in a wishful thinking to say, hey, I'm beautiful, admire me. Never, right? So no one has done that. Has ever I come in your dream and said, hey, I am beautiful, admire me? Not at all, right? Yes. The beauty is in the eye of a beholder. And if you want to be that beholder, pay attention. Pay attention to the minute tricks, minute details, the intrinsic details ever. Yes. So remember this quote, beauty lies in the beholder. So I do not mean to say only if you are that beholder with a lot of attention, you will understand the beauty. Definitely not. If I give you the insight, if I give you the prerequisites, I'm sure at the end of this lecture, all of us will be awestruck at how beautiful these minute creatures are. So without any further delay, let's go forward. And I welcome you to the world of microbes. Yes. So beauty is not one word that will describe them, but be ready for some thrill and surprise for the night. All right. So talking about microbes. So what do you know about microbes? So the world is teeming with a lot of life, right? So not only human beings, animals occupy the earth, but even microorganisms occupy. So let me tell you, 60% of the earth's living matter are your microbes. So here we see microbes are the tiny living things that are found all around us and are too small to be seen by the naked eye, right? So they live in water, soil, and in the air, everywhere that you see. So your human body is also home to 1 million of microorganisms, and without them, you and I do not exist. So the human body contains a lot of microbes, and that is called as the microbiome, right? Yes. So they make up 60% of the Earth's living matter. This is your microbe, right? So here we go, move forward from here. So microbes are cosmopolitan. Yes, I have repeated this statement when we're talking about your eubacteria, if you remember very clearly. So they are everywhere, on me, you, on the screen that I'm showing you, on the screen that you're watching me, right on my face, right on my palm, right on the pointer that I'm holding, everywhere, right? Yes. So right from your cheese to your dirt, microbes are everywhere and they're cosmopolitan, right? So everywhere you turn around, you will find microbes. So let me tell you more about it. So life at the edge of sight. So here, what do I want to say? You cannot see the microorganisms. They're all around us, on us, in us. That is understood because they're cosmopolitan. But the most fundamental realities of the microbial world are strikingly positive. So what are the positive things? According to us, all we know about microbes is that they are disease causing, and some of them, yes, to some extent, they help in certain things. But what? Is their world practically positive for us, or are they only negative? So here I'm telling you that the most fundamental realities of the microbial world are remarkably positive. So let's look at some of the most common features, the striking parallels between our human life and the microbial life. So the first one, microbes were the first. So over 4 billion years ago, so what happened was small life started evolving. Okay, so small cells started developing, small spore-like formation started forming on your chemical broth. So it was on a thermal region. So slowly, these particles were released, and as the particles released and accumulated, they started interacting, right? So then slowly, so these particles formed what is called as your vesicles, and then later your RNA molecules, they started self-replicating inside those vesicles. Slowly, the first protocellular life came onto Earth, and that is your microbes ever. So your microbes were the first on Earth even before your humans or animals, and that is one of the positive side that you should see about a microorganism. All right. Yes, so this is a thermal region. So this is similar to your National Yellowstone Park in US. This is the thermal region. It is similar to that where your first microorganism ever evolved. All right. Okay. So the next feature is that your microorganisms are invisible chefs. Do you agree? Yes. Do you agree? Microorganisms are invisible chef, and there's a small story associated with it. So what is that story? So there was a drink, okay? So I don't know if you have heard that drink. That drink is called as kombucha actually. So people are not very sure where the story originated. A group of people argue it originated in China, and another group argued it happened in Russia. Well, however, that does not matter to us. We only want to know the story, right? So what was that story? So in that place, particularly where this drink originated, so a tea was made. Okay, it was a jug of tea with a lot of leaves and other ingredients, but the person who made the tea could not drink the tea. He just left the tea for some days and he went away, okay, due to some reasons. When he came back, he observed that the tea was just like that, but just a layer of white foam was formed. They didn't know what it was. They thought, let's try. So they poured a cup of tea and they drank. And how do you think it tasted? It was tangy and effervescent. People loved the taste. And without even knowing that it's microorganisms, so they have been drinking it for over years, and it is the first drink in which a microorganism was ever discovered. So till today, thousands of beverages, thousands of drinks, today we use microorganisms, right? From your wine to so many preservative drinks, we use microorganisms. So they are, in a way, they are invisible chefs. So I'm telling you, ultimately my agenda is to tell you, microorganisms do not have a negative face, they have a positive face as well. They act as invisible chef, not only in fermented foods. From your China bread, etc., everywhere, your idli, dosa, everywhere you use microorganisms. Without microorganisms, the entire food industry will drop down. All right? So they are an extremely good invisible chef. But, okay, I agree. A minority of them are bad actors. What do I mean when I say a minority of them are bad actors? Yes, some of them cause diseases, and that's why we are suffering today. We are in a pandemic situation where your coronavirus is taking a toll on all our lives, right? So we are not able to do our day-to-day activities. We are struggling, and we have been struggling for over a year. And 2020 has been the most hardest year ever for so many people. At least I wish and hope the end is well and good. But let's see. Yes, a minority of them are bad actors. Yes, we have harmful bacterial infections, fungal infections, protozoa, which is taking our life, and some infections can be very, very lethal. Some can be very severe. You cannot decide upon them. Yes, but it does not. So one which tops the list is your Pseudomonas aeruginosa. It is on the top list. That is very, very severe sometimes when the infection it causes. But just because in a billion of a population of microorganisms, if you find one or two disease causing harmful bacteria or microorganism, it does not mean the whole group is wrong. Just like every boy selling a lemonade, every grandmother baking a cake becomes the most wanted person on an FBI list, it's not possible, right? So vilifying the bacteria just because some of them are harmful is an injustice mismatch that is ever being done. Just because one of you in the family is, one of you in a group of friends is wrong, you cannot claim the entire group is wrong, right? So similarly, only a minority of them are bad players, but they do have a good side. All right. So makers and maintenance of biospheres. Have you ever imagined what would life be if you do not have microorganisms? Have you ever thought about it? Yes? No? Remember the powerhouse of your cell. What is the powerhouse of your cell? So when we're talking about the superhero of your biology, that is the cell, we're talking about the powerhouse of the cell is mitochondria. Well, yes, you have been reading about mitochondria since your 6th standard or 8th standard, I believe. Yes. So mitochondria, which is the power of the cell, and chloroplast that manages the photosynthesis, also gets their start from a bacteria only. So they are of bacterial origin, right? That's why they have a 70S ribosome instead of an 80S. So the cyanobacteria, which is a few, not even a few meters less than the 1000th millimeter, they can produce the entire oxygen that all the humans breathe. Okay, so they're such fascinating creatures. So microorganisms are the makers and the maintenance of biosphere, and if you do not have soil nitrogen fixing bacteria, then the entire work of your soil population goes down. So microorganisms, they make up the biosphere. All right. Yes. Of course, microbes and humans go hand in hand. So now it's a dinner time video. So all of you are having dinner right now, right? So look into your dinner table. Yes, look into your dinner table. So you have delicious foods. You have hot streaming foods. Yes, I understand. So be it whether you're a meat eater, you're a vegetarian, or you're having something else, Chinese, etc. Does not matter. But every food that is placed on your table, that is properly or culinary extraordinary placed on your table, and that triggers your taste buds, every food out there has microorganisms. Trust me. For example, if you're having fish, so how did you bring that fish? It has been neatly sliced and got from the supermarket. But go back to the life of a fish. How did it live? It lived in an aquatic environment. So trust and tell me, aquatic environment does not have microorganisms. So all that we saw in biological or classification, the entire habitat was marine, right? So everything is there. So right in front of you, you have a lot of microorganisms which are invisible to you. So that is how it is. So microorganism as a whole, let me tell you, they can make something very, very delicious, extremely delicious, extremely, appealing, like your wine and chocolate. Yet at the same time, they can also make black deaths happen. So it is just like how we see certain societal impostures that they have good and bad. It is up to us to choose the positive and the negative side of microbes. So it is not always that the microbes are wrong. They are good as well. Do you think I'm done? No, wait. So what are the interesting developments? So this is about microbes that we know so far. But today, what are we talking about in microbes? So today, scientists have discovered when you move, even your microbes move. So how does that happen? So how does it happen? Let me tell you. So this was a very beautiful, interesting research. They selected 7 families. They collected the microbe samples from their mouth, their nose, nostrils, their hands, etc. And also from the knobs, from the surface of the house, whichever they frequently touch, from the switches they collected. And they found that when the family moved, within a day or two, the same microbial environment also settled down. So understand, so as you move, even your microbes move. As you speak, even your microbes are speaking. So as you live, they also live. So they also coexist along with you. All right. So microbes would help you solve crime. Yes. Sorry. So there is one particular bacteria that helps to discover or identify the time of death. That is also one essential development, or you can say a twist and turn development in the area of Forsenic, right? So where it helps you to find the time of death. And also in case of rape scenes, so the bacteria on your pubic hair will help find or identify the perpetrators of the rape case. So that is also one reason why bacteria is coming up. So these are discoveries that is apart from your needs. So I want to tell you the other aspects of bacteria, the other aspects of microorganisms as well. So I don't want you to make a gloomy face when we talk about microorganisms and examples. No, there's something beautiful beyond your scope, beyond your vision. So gut bacteria may be inherited. Right now, your stomach and my stomach holds or houses a lot of bacteria, right? So what bacteria will reside in your stomach is already pre-decided. For example, some people are lean, some people are obese. So how do you say? Say I'm lean and my family, everyone is lean, so you don't find it different. But sometimes if a person is obese but the parents are slim, you don't find a connection, right? How? What decides them is your gut bacteria. Certain gut bacteria which are inherited will make you lean. Certain gut bacteria which are inherited or which resides inside you make you obese. So that is the difference. All right? Yes. So without microbes, as we know, life would end. So without microbes, we'll not have nitrogen fixing work done. So without gut microbes, your digestion will drop, but not claustrophobically, but gradually. So remember, we are dependent on microorganisms for digestion a bit less than animals. So every animal is dependent on the bugs that are present in their gut for digestion. So gradually that will fall down. Then the nitrogen fixing population will fall down. So microbes are globally connected network. So if they fall, gradually we will also fall. So that is the most essential point that I want to emphasize today. All right. Yes. So before I go and end my lecture on saying microbes have a positive note, let me make you feel amazing for a moment. Do you understand intelligence is also an aspect of microbes? So I know intelligence is too lightly an attribute that can be given to microbes, but trust me, yes, they can be given the reason. There's no reason for you to think bacteria, other slime molds, or other multicellular organisms to have awareness, understanding, etc. that can implicit in their real life. But yes, they can do. They have such amazing abilities, capabilities that help them solving certain mazes, certain puzzles that makes us wonder, wow. So if we are in an era talking about artificial intelligence today, let me tell you, we should not underappreciate the most beautiful acellular organisms that are equivalent to artificial intelligence that is happening today. So what happens in your artificial intelligence? You're training or you're programming robots to solve sophisticated problems in a more sophisticated way, right? So when the same cellular organism can do it naturally, we should not underappreciate them, right? So we should always talk about them, and then we can even appreciate them equally if we are appreciating your artificial intelligence. So one organism that I want to talk about today is Physerum polycephalum, and it is a slime mold. So what is the beauty of this organism? It's amazingly beautiful. So I'll talk to you about the organism, the body design, etc. But before I actually do it, let me tell you something more. So this is one organism which helped form the metro rail network of Japan. So when I say Japan, all of you know it's a country of power, it's a country of intelligence as well, right? So people are very hardworking there and they don't waste any extra time. So they wanted to build a metro rail network, okay? So they placed a map, all right? And they placed all the points that they want to connect. But seriously, the people out there found it really confusing as to how to connect each of the points, because it has to be possible that they have a stop. So there are certain rules, right? When you have a metro rail, they should be able to make a retro rail out of that. They should be able to cover all the points, and that is how it becomes economical. So they were really confused. Then they took this organism. It is a very simple slime mold, okay? It is not even barely an organism, it is smaller than that. So they took this organism, and in all the metro points that they wanted to connect, they placed a food particle, okay? This Physerum polycephalum was too brilliant. It has a sensor on the cell membrane to detect the food smell, okay? So the moment it detects the food smell, it starts crawling towards it. Hold on. The moment it starts sensing the food smell, it starts moving towards it. But as it moves, it leaves a mark, it leaves a trail. It also leaves a memory along with it. So this organism is way brilliant. Now it can sense food from all the directions, right? Because it is placed in the center, it was placed in one point, and every other metro points they wanted to map had food points. Okay, this is on a map. This organism was so smart that it was first able to track the food particles in the shortest way possible, and it quickly covered all the regions. So the trail that it left, that is your metro rail network today in Japan. So can you ever believe a human brain was not able to sort out the shortest way for the metro rail, but something as small and as invisible as your slime mold was able to do? So this is one organism that is being used in your artificial intelligence, that is used in your network related studies, and stunningly, it was used to build the metro rail network. So now I show you the ever stunning Physum polycephalum. So it is a single huge cell with thousands of nuclei floating. So this is how it pumps. Okay, so this is how it is formed. It is a slime mold. So it is a superbly efficient hunter. It is a superbly efficient hunter. All right. Fine. Okay. So here I will show you how it moves forward. So as it moves, it leaves trail. So the moment it senses food, and if you take out food from that path, okay, so then it will be disappointed because it cannot find the food. But at the same time, it will leave a memory. I should never ever take this path because it is a wrong signal coming from here. So it is that smart. That is your Physum polycephalum. So today we are studying more about this organism, looking for possible insights as to how much other problems it can solve. It's amazing, right? So if you are well efficient enough with the research work, so take a map, place food points, okay? And I trust you, the more longer you take, the more shorter route it will show you. So that is the beauty of your Physum polycephalum, and it's one of the most stunning microorganisms. I do not mean to say there's only one organism here. There are a hell of a lot of microorganisms, and if I keep talking, you won't know when 2020 ends and when 2021 starts. But let's stop here for tonight. I just want to talk to you about one stunning microorganism. So if you do like this kind of lectures, so I am ready to show you all the stunning microorganisms ever. I started off with this because it had a stunning example. It acts as a stunning role model for us. How a small slime mold can make such stunning realities possible, right? Yes. So with this, I want you to tell one take-home message, one good night message. So before all of you go to bed, so I guess so all of you have completed your dinner watching the show. But still, remember what you want me to remember. What I want you to remember, it is the small things that can make a big difference. So when a small thing like your microorganisms can prove to be as equivalent to your artificial intelligence that your human brain is working on, your small deeds can make something big happen. So every small effort that you put in will tomorrow give you a very beautiful fruit. All right. This is all the take home message that I want to tell you. And if you really like this video, and if you really like to know something more outside your textbook, so please do like, share and subscribe this as well. Yes, to do let your friends know. All right. So thank you and have a beautiful night ahead. I will meet you tomorrow in class. Bye guys.